And then I have to do some like sponsor reads. Sponsor is like a pre-taped thing, but I'll get to you pretty quick after that.
Okay.
All right. I will see you soon. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Hi, everyone. It's Sarah. Welcome to Unmuzzled, a podcast. Today, we meet somebody that has been so wonderful to live like Rue and now has written a book. And it is, I look at the cover and I'm like, this is the cutest cover ever. But we're going to meet Jessica in a bit. Before we do that, presenting sponsors. Thank you so much to our presenting sponsors. Yucca Fence is the family-owned, trusted provider of high-quality fencing solutions with over 57 years of experience. They take pride in protecting what you love the most and give back to rescues, shelters, and humane societies through their partnerships. They give you a free, no-obligation estimate and use the highest quality materials. For transparency and peace of mind, visit Yucca Fence for all your fencing needs. Canine Cruise is the place to take your pet. They offer dog and cat boarding, dog daycare, pet retail, and mindful day school. Tons of indoor space with a huge yard. Canine Cruise is your one-stop shop for professional pet care in Chicago. Kiki's Corner Natural Pet Foods in downtown Winfield, just a block south of CDH Hospital and the railroad tracks. Kiki's has all your food and health aid needs for dogs and cats. Kiki's Corner for a healthy, happy pet. Sniffing out a new vet? Bond Vet is a new breed of vet care that offers everything from primary care to walk-in urgent care visits. And right now, they've got a special treat for our listeners. You can use code UNMUZZLED to get $50 off your pet's first visit by booking at bondvet.com. That's code UNMUZZLED at BONDVET.com for $50 off. Oh, so Jessica already corrected me. There she is. Jessica, she did not write the book, but the book is based on her dog Boole. So I apologize for that. And honestly, though, like, you were an advisor, right? And you had somebody that has a writing background do the book. But before we get there, because the whole story is one that I love, because, after volunteering at an open admission shelter, animal control in Chicago, most of the dogs we get are Pittie types or Pittie mixes, or, so, we always say, don't judge a book by its cover. And that's kind of your initial email when I was looking back was, that's what this book is about. So before we get to the book, tell me, did you grow up with animals? Did you have an affinity for dogs? How did you get into loving Pitties? I mean, obviously Boole is amazing. So, but how did it all start?
It's funny enough, I was one of those people who believed the stereotypes. When I was a kid, I got bit on the hand by a dog when I was at a bus stop, and it was just like a random scruffy little dog. It wasn't anything like big, large, scary, nothing that like made me afraid of a specific breed, but it was enough to traumatize me for years. Fast forward till I was 22 and I met my now husband. And I was going to his parents' house and he was like, "Oh, you can meet my dog." And I was like, "Dog? What dog?" Like, I'm deathly afraid of dogs. What are we talking about? And it's a pit bull. He rescued him in college. His name is Nittany because my husband went to Penn State. And I met that dog and that dog changed my entire life. And ever since that weekend, I've been like the crazy dog lady. If there's a dog, I am going to meet it. I'm crossing the street to it. I'm adopting and volunteering and doing whatever I can to help promote this magnificent breed, because honestly, they're just completely misinterpreted.
Yeah, and I think, we talk a lot about the media doing that, or, the people that will go on every single pit bull post and just start to, put everything bad about the breed. It's like going backwards every time that somebody does that. They don't give them a chance because they heard one story about somebody 5 years ago, you know.
Yeah.
But they are nanny dogs. I mean, that is like so true because you see them around kids and really like all humans. And Rue was the same, you know, like he lit up a room. I mean, literally, he lit up a room and people just gravitated towards him. And I loved it because then they were able to see like, this is not a scary breed. This is a dog that loves everything and everybody. And it is so refreshing, I think, when you hear somebody like you say, like, you know, it changed my life. It changed the way that I thought about them. And I remember my parents, I was in Boston and we went by a pit bull. I was young, you know, I was probably like, I don't know, 12. And they were like, oh, don't touch that kind of dog. Like, what? And even my brother, like, you should never touch a pit bull. I'm like, what's that's like every other dog. And that's how you have to think about it. They are literally like every other dog. But you also have the Pittie Chicks, which number one, I love your logo. You donated a raffle basket. How did this come about? Because this is amazing. You grew up scared of dogs, and now you have this whole company.
Oh yeah, I literally hooked a 180 and became a crazy dog lady. When we got our first pit bull, we had just gotten married, got a house, and the first thing I was like scouring Pet Finder, looking for a dog. Want a dog, gotta have a dog. And as soon as I got Lola, that she is the muse behind it. She always wore a set of pearls that my mother made her, like giant pearls that she had with a big bow. As soon as I got her, you know, you try and like find things that are, you know, your dog specific, like you want coffee mugs or shirts and whatever. And everywhere I went, anything pit bull was like black unisex shirts, spiked collars, cropped ears, like very aggressive. And I'm like, that's not my dog. My dog is sweet and cuddly, and she initiates smiles wherever we go. And everyone that I had met in rescue, for the most part, it was very heavy female oriented. So it was kind of like one of those things where I'm like, all right, there's a niche here, and I'm a graphic designer by trade. So I just started designing things that I would want to wear. So that's how I started with Pittie Chicks. We started with 2 designs at a 5K race to rescue in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And now we sell all over the world, and we have over 150 designs that I've done the majority of. I had a few like guest artists come in because after a while we did do a line called Powered by Pitt for the guys, because after a while the husbands and boyfriends and everyone were like, well, what about us? Why is it only for women? You know, so.
I mean, I love that. You did. I mean, and it is so true. I think back even like 10 years ago, and I was looking for like merch. I was always trying to support like rescues at the shelter that I volunteered at because, you know, I was oftentimes evaluating dogs for them. And I wanted to be sure that I supported them. And it was hard to find things that weren't just like, you know, a logo. So you having the graphic design background is like number one obstacle because, you know, artists, you have to pay for that because they are artists. And if you listen to this podcast, you know how I feel about artists and not shortchanging them or asking for things for free. But it's so nice because you already have that. And so as soon as something gets in your brain, you can almost put it on paper, maybe if it's not even exactly what you want, you know? That's so cool. So for people now, tell us about Bull and like how the book came about and what, like, because you can't, it's a lot easier. I will say it's a lot easier now to do a book as far as distribution, but you know, having the concept and then getting people on board with it it really is like a big thing. I'm trying to do a coloring book now, and it's that is hard, but it's a thing. So once you have the idea, like how did this all come about?
Yeah, so my friend Iman, he runs, it's called Too Hot to Walk. It's a dog-centric vlog here in Phoenix, Arizona. And he had reached out and he was kind of talking about how he wanted to do a book about breaking stereotypes. And at the time, you know, Bull was still with us. We just lost him in April. But he was like, scars from mast cell cancer. He was missing an eye, hematomas, like the ears, like he was gnarly, but he was also like the biggest, silliest goofball ever. Like he would just elicit smiles from everyone because he just like, we used to joke that the biggest muscle in his body was his heart, even though it was like, if you think my head is big, you should see my heart kind of thing. Like he was just a big, giant mush ball. He never had a mean bone in his body. And he would just like, he was just a giant goof. Like to see him, like he was a specimen. So Iman came to me and he was like, let's do this book. Like, what do you want it to be about? I'm like, oh, I want it to be about not judging a book by its cover, and that, every dog is an individual and you have to approach them as that. So that's kind of where the whole story kind of rolled out. And then they did these beautiful illustrations for us. And like, this is so adorable. But as you scroll through, like, you see how like Bully's at a fair and these kids are afraid of him. But then like my character comes over and introduces them, and like they're not afraid of him anymore. And it's really sweet. And especially like as soon as I got the book myself and I got my first copy and I started flipping through, it was like, like, instant tears. Like, I was so happy. And so like, I just love that his legacy lives on through this. And then I also love that we can help give back to you guys, since God knows you guys helped us. He had cancer. He survived cancer 3 times and then finally ultimately passed from bone cancer.
Yeah, which is what Rue had. It's so hard to take, especially when they come from just a crap background and you just want them to have the best life. If you're looking at the screen right now, if you're watching this, you can scan that QR code. If you're listening, there's a link in the description of the podcast to get the book. But yeah, it is so hard. I started to cry when you like described him, because it's like they're like special. They're so special. Like, these dogs are so special. So you just want them to like live their best life after all the crap they've been through. But is this a kid's book? Is this for adults? Is it all ages?
It's mostly a kid's book. Like, it's definitely geared towards children, but that story can go for any age, really. Yeah,
I love it. Yeah, well, congratulations. I mean, that's amazing. Oh, wait, let me.
This one got me. This was like a gut punch. I couldn't believe it. I was like, it looks so much like him. Like, it was amazing. Yeah. This one doesn't look so much like me. Maybe about 2 years ago when I had my hair cut.
No. Oh, that's so did he lose his eye from the cancer?
So they said it was from acute glaucoma, but it was 1 year after. He had subcutaneous mast cell cancer in his face, and it came back 9 months later. So he was cut twice. So he had a lot of trauma to the side of his face. And then that's the side that lost the eye. And they did say it was acute glaucoma, but ever since that point, he's never had a problem with his pressure. So I don't really know, like that day, his pressure was through the roof. And that's why we had to take out the eye.
Yeah, it's so hard. But I will say, I mean, he looks so cute. Like, I know.
He's so cute. And of course, I had to dress him up like a pirate for Halloween. And he had the patch. And he was just, he was such a ham. He was the best.
Yeah. So do you have, and thank you for giving back,
yes,
the sales. We really appreciate that. What does the future look like? Do you think there'll be another book, another story? Obviously Pittie Chicks is doing great, and you probably keep advancing your designs. And
I do. I don't know about another book at this point. Right now, we're just kind of like taking it a day at a time because it's all so fresh that we lost him. But we are looking into fostering. I think that's probably going to be our first step, only because, we don't have kids. We have pit bull experience, no other dogs. Like, we're kind of like a unicorn for a foster, And one of the great things about Pittie Chicks is that I got connected with rescues all over the United States. So like, even moving here to Phoenix sight unseen, I had already had lined up meetings with rescues here through my connections at Pinups for Pit Bulls. So it's just great. Like, I don't know who's more loyal, the pit bull itself or the people who love them, because it's just like this gigantic community, and it's great.
Yeah, when you find those people, you find your people, it is like so refreshing, because they're people that are like-minded, which for people without kids like me and you that are animal lovers, like those people like are instant friends almost, it just, you vibe with those people because everybody gets it. And you are a unicorn, especially now with the shelter crisis. Like, I'm hoping that people are giving you space, but I'm sure also people are knocking down your door for dogs that they need help with. But
I keep getting posts. They're like, how about this one? How about that one? And I'm like, I need a little bit of time, but soon, like, I promise soon.
Yeah, the tags I know on Facebook and social media probably are insane. Just even people that, sometimes don't know you well. Like, I always get tagged in the beat up chihuahuas that are seniors with no teeth. Because they know that I'm a sucker for it, So
like, same. People know that I love the underdog. So give me your dog missing an eye. Does it have 3 legs? Is its tail broke? Give me them. I want those.
Yeah, I love it. So everybody go buy the book. I mean, it's so awesome, so nice of Jess to give back. And already, like, I'm going to go get my copy right after this because I have to have that. Look how cute this is, the cover. And I'm glad you gave us a little sneak peek of the inside too, but perfect for kids, perfect for adults. Great story, obviously. Never judge a book by its cover, but thank you so much for joining me, Jess. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
The amazing Jess, everybody. We appreciate her being on. Please go buy that book. It supports Live Like Rue Foundation, and it's a great message for everybody, kids and adults alike. Supporting sponsors, you're up. Thank you to our supporting sponsors. On the corner of Montrose and Troy in Chicago's Irving Park neighborhood, you'll find a hidden gem known as Templestowe Pub. They have a great selection of local draft beers, and the Malort is always flowing. Oh no. Join us for a charity bingo event or a tap takeover with a local brewery. Don't want to leave your dog at home? All good, bring them along. Whether you're throwing darts or playing a banger on the jukebox, you're guaranteed to have an awesome time. So head on over to 3135 West Montrose and look for the old style sign. The Canine PT is Chicago's highest rated dog physical therapy clinic, and they're dedicated to enhancing the lives of your four-legged companions as they age or when recovering from an injury. Give the gift of pain relief to your furry friends. They also offer a discount for rescue dogs. For more information, visit thecaninepT.com. Intuitive animal behavior dog training, positive reinforcement, force-free, and fear-free training solutions for every dog. Jenna offers individualized training, behavioral boarding, shelter support, and positive reinforcement board and train services. Creating an environment that is happy and healthy for your pets is so important. For more information, go to intuitiveanimalbehavior.com. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, everyone, for listening and watching. I really appreciate it. See you next time. Just got that in time. You were great. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. I'm always like kind of like,
No, you're all good. Sorry, there you are. Wait, did you grow up in Pennsylvania?
Yes. Yeah.
And I grew up in Lancaster. So like Mannheim.
No way.
Yeah, Mannheim. Do you know Mannheim?
Yeah. It's near kind of near Philly, right?
Yeah, it's like an hour away. So where did you grow up? Scranton?
I grew up in Dunmore, Pennsylvania, which is a borough of Scranton.
Yeah, okay.
So it was
I
like
had
tiny.
a college friend from Scranton area. And I don't think I've ever been there. But yeah, that's funny. You lost your accent. So did I. Now I have this stupid Chicago accent.
Well, now I did a pit stop in Raleigh, North Carolina. So I somehow picked up more of a Southern accent than I ever had for Pennsylvania. Like I say y'all a lot now. But yeah. And actually my husband's from